Well, hello there. My name is Sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Last time we talked a bit about races and today I wanted to continue with that topic. I have two vampire sorcs, RCB and Lillian. One is a high elf, one a dark elf. The racial passives in these two racial skill lines are similar but not exactly the same. Both get the same boost to weapon and spell damage, but high elves have more magicka and also restore magicka stamina depending on which is lowest when casting an ability, while dark elves enjoy increased flame resistance. I wanted to see what happens if I equipped the same brutal heavy attack build on both and take them to the same dungeon. Will one reign supreme or will they be relatively equal? Let's test. First, champion points. In Warfare, my active stars are Weapons Expert, Fighting Aura, Wrathful Strikes and Untamed Aggression. Same for Lillian. In Fitness, we have Survival Instincts, Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation and Fortified. Same for Lillian. And since Craft stars have little meaning for combat, I will just ignore those. SB and Lillian both have all of their attribute points on magicka, both walk under the Lover boon, and both are stage 4 vampires. And both have the same abilities, which we will go through quickly starting from our backup weapon, which is a Restore Staff. First, Critical Surge to boost critical damage and to stay alive. Next, we have Thunderstorm. In Lightning form, RCB and Lillian gain Major Resolve and Major Expedition, which grant them an increase to physical and spell resistance and more movement speed. And they also zap enemies who venture in too close. Moving on, we have Degeneration. This deals a set amount of magic damage on a single enemy and grants my heroes Major Brutality and Sorcery, which boost weapon and spell damage. Degeneration also triggers this major skill passive for both. And then Blood Mist. This allows RSB and Lillian to turn into red mist, which allows them to surprise enemies and take full advantage of this vampire passive. Blood Mist also deals area damage and comes with a weak heal. Last, on this weapon, we have Haunting Curse. This curses an enemy, deals magic damage both instantly and over time, and also deals another batch of magic damage a bit later. Fun. On our main weapon, a lightning staff, I do love those, we have Crushing Shock. This deals all sorts of elemental damage on a single enemy. If that enemy happens to be casting when struck, they are interrupted and set off balance. Next, we have Arterial Burst. This allows you to whack an enemy to deal a set amount of magic damage. This deals more damage if your health is low, and below 55% health, this will always be a critical strike. Whack. Moving on, we come to Lightning Flood. This deals overtime area damage and also comes with a do-it-yourself synergy. Joy. Then we have Storm Pulsar to quickly eliminate a whole bunch of enemies with a single blast. And last, we have an ability we do not use. Radiant Mage Light grants you Major Savagery and Prophecy when equipped on your active weapon, so it's just kind of sort of there. Lillian actually has a different morph of this, but since this isn't actively used, I figured it would be fine. Our ultimate, Swarming Scion. Let's enjoy. And then, two passives. SB and Lillian have different interests, so to speak, so I will equip the same passives on both. Nothing on Dark Magic. Everything on Daedric Summoning and Storm Calling. Everything on Restore Staff. Nothing on Restore Staff. Everything on Light Armor and Vampire. On Fighter's Guild, we have Banish the Wicked. Moving on, everything on Mage's Guild and Undaunted, and everything on racial passives. RSB and Lillian will both obviously wear the same gear. First, a dungeon set. Thundercaller drops from Red Petal Bastion, which is part of the Waking Flame DLC. Thundercaller adds to offensive penetration and weapon and spell damage. With a full set on, dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack summons a lightning bolt to cause all sorts of pain to enemies. This is a super fun set, very immersive for a Storm Sorc. I have Discovering both weapons and all jewelry slots. Then we have a craftable set from Westfield. Therica's Strike adds to weapon and spell damage. With a full set on, dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack grants Major Berserk for a short while. This causes you to do more damage. More is more, and this is a lot more. I have this covering chest, waist, hands, legs and feet. For our monster set, I picked out Archdruid Deverick. The helm drops from Earthenwood Enclave in Veteran, although I got mine from the Golden. Shoulders can be purchased from Undaunted vendors. Archdruid Deverick adds to offensive penetration. With both pieces on, dealing damage with a heavy attack causes enemies to take shock damage and become afflicted with major vulnerability, which causes them to take more damage. More is more. This set comes with an intrusive golden bear animation. Again, more. Let's head on over to testing grounds now and see what happens. Since RCB is wearing all the gear, she goes fast. To Fungal Grotto, everyone. I will let sometimes subtitles loose for a bit now. So, LCP and Lillian cleared the dungeon in just about 10 minutes, lazily but with ease. Neither ran out of magicka and both stayed alive throughout the run. Damage numbers were pretty much the same, and the only difference came from the human error factor, namely me. As my concentration broke, LCP struggled, and as I forgot which buttons to push, Lillian stumbled. So, in conclusion, I would state that High Elf and Dark Elf aren't very different, and that race, at least in this case, doesn't really matter even if you are a stage 4 vampire. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next time, I thought we might take a good long look at Night Market. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.